So now what? Being called a twink is actually an insult? Well, that's stupid. We have bears in the gay community because they're big and furry and they growl. They want to eat your picnic basket. But I guess now calling a boy band twink or twinkish or twinks is really a insult now. Here's a news article that was given to me just now. Bravo, Power, Gay, Andy Cohen was on the Today Show yesterday when he called the One Direction a group of twinks. Then proceeded to say the sky was blue, the earth was round, and Kathleen Lee Gifford a lush with a great set of gams. Well, yeah, you're right of that. So what is a twink, by the way? I keep asking that question. What makes you a twink? Are you supposed to be like this young tinny popper? I don't know what it really is, to be honest with you. Like the common characteristics of a twink is what? A skinny, thin, boyish kind of guy, usually gay, usually blonde, white guy. Skinny, thin, young, white guy. Small little pants. And so that makes you a twink. Oh, that's stupid. See, when you call yourself a bear and you're big and furry, that's kind of funny. That's kind of cute in a way, you know? I mean, not cute sexually, but it's kind of appropriate. But a twink is nothing. I mean, what really is it? We haven't really defined it. We haven't really said, okay, this is what makes you a twink. These are the characteristics. This is the criteria. So if you are, let's say 22 right now, and you are considering yourself to be a twink, and you grow up to be, let's say, 62, would you still consider yourself a twink by then? I don't know. Because I never seen 60 or 50-year-old twinks, 40-year-old twinks, not even 30-year-old. I guess by the time you're like 24, you're no longer a twink. Is that what it is? Is that... Because a bear's always a bear. And look, the bears embraced their identity. You know, they're fine with it. I mean, they have shows about bears. Yeah, Where the Bears Are. Pretty funny show. So what's the deal? I don't really get it. I don't know what the deal is about this. And so somebody sent me an email and with this article. And he asked me what I felt about this. Is calling somebody a twink an insult? I don't know. It depends what your standards are. Like, I'm not a twink. I don't consider myself a twink. And somebody did ask me if I was a twink once on Grindr when I was using it years ago. Are you a twink? And yeah, I felt weird. I felt pretty pissed off when somebody asked me straight off the bat, "Are you a twink?" And I'm like, "What the fuck are you looking for?" So I don't know. Maybe the insult was that there was some sort of gay connotation to it. Is that what it is? Is One Direction saying, "Oh, you can't call us"? Well, it's not. They're not the ones who are complaining. I guess somebody else is complaining. I don't know who. Is it the PC police? Because they're the ones that are saying you can't use the word tranny, even though a lot of transsexuals use it, and it's not really a. I don't know. It's not fine. I don't use the word tranny just to not inconvenience anybody or make anybody uncomfortable. I stopped using the word tranny. So now they're gonna take away the word twink. And you know, I never used the word twink as a insult or as a, you know, as a bad word or try to break down somebody. You know, I never did that with that word. I keep hearing more like the word bear, like in our community, in the gay community. I've seen a lot of these, bears hanging around, and when they get in the way, we say, "Get the fuck out of the way, you bears! Get back into your cave and hibernate." But twinks have it really good. I mean, they're the life of the party, right? A lot of gay guys are into twinks. I'm not. I'm into men. Maybe that's what it is. Because a lot of these twinks look like girls. I mean, they look like lesbians. Yeah. So, I mean, look, I have a best friend of mine who is gay, and as well. And we were at Gay Pride, and he was like, "Ooh, look at that guy. He's fucking cute." Because he was into twinks. Turned out to be a lesbian. He was like, "Shit. I know how to get some ass today." Oh, he was into the twink shit. I mean, he was, he's a total top. Well, he calls himself straight, but he's gay, He takes it up the ass a couple times. You're fucking gay. But he was into the twink. So, I mean, where did that word come from anyway? Twink. Is it from the word Twinkie? Because twinks look like Twinkies? Actually, they do, huh? They had that little cream filling inside. So, and my mother once asked me, "What is that word, Jose? What is that word, twink? What is it? What does it mean?" I'm like, "Mom, you don't want to know." She thought it was a Twinkie. Well, she likes Twinkies though. She has them for dessert sometimes, with a glass of milk. She was at the Gay Pride parade, and she thought, well, when she saw that word, she thought they were selling Twinkies. They're like, "Oh, they're selling Twinkies. I want to buy one." I'm like, "No, that's not what it is. They're twinks." "What are those? What is a twink?" "Jose, what's a twink? What's a twink?" You don't want to know, Mom. You don't want to know. I hope she didn't Google it. I don't know. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see all these hot boy sex. So what is the criteria to make you a twink? What do you actually have to do to be a twink around here? What, that you weigh no more than 130 pounds? Seriously, I'm not really into these guys. I'm not. I mean, I'm not into twinks. I'm into men. Into guys that look like men. Just normal, average-looking guys. I'm not... Well, as far as cuteness is concerned, yeah, there has to be some sort of cuteness involved, attractiveness. But body-wise, just be normal. I mean, why would you want to date somebody who's like 5'4" or 5'6"? And I mean, I'm not against if you date somebody like that. I mean, just saying for me, okay, because I'm the one that has to get his butt fucked, all right? But not you, unless if you want to. But I mean, why would you want to date somebody who's 5'6", 5'7", weighs 120 pounds? Basically, I mean, he has the body of a 12-year-old. It's like trying to be with a boy. Legally. And so, I don't know. And the other thing is what? You have to be smooth, no hair whatsoever? What the hell is that about? I like guys with hair. Some body hair. Not a lot of body hair, but some body hair. Some pubes. Some armpit hair. Regular guy stuff. What's wrong with that? And I hear this all the time around the gay sphere in the internet. "Oh, I'm into guys that are smooth. If you're smooth, I am me." I'm like, what the hell is the matter with you? I mean, what does that make you look like? Like a fucking shallow, stupid prick. You know? So what if a guy has a little bit of hair? Does that make him an evil person? You can't date that guy? Crap is that? You know, these are the people that are always unsatisfied with their relationships because little picky, petty bourgeois details that have nothing to do with if the person is good or not. You know, they pay attention to that kind of thing. You know, they make that the center of their attraction. Yeah, they have a fetish. Oh, so you can say that. I don't have a fetish. I'm a nice guy. I'm down to earth. I'm for real. What else do they say on the fucking internet now these days? I'm for real. I play video games. I go to the mall. I chill. I go to the club. Fucking boring shit you guys do. Like, if that's supposed to impress me, and I'm smooth, I don't have any hair on me, oh. Smooth like a baby's butt. Back then, when I was young, everybody wanted to grow facial hair. Like a mustache. Or a beard or something. Mostly a mustache. You know, to say that you're now a man. You're grown up now. Oh, look at me, I have a mustache. That was the thing when I was a young kid. But now it's like, what is this? One Direction? A boy band? None of them have mustaches. Right? Of course, they look like little boys. I mean, this is a new thing now. This is a new, what? A new trend? You're supposed to look like prepubescent boys? Fuck that shit. When I was in high school, I fucked around with men. You know, men. You know, there were guys who were like 14, 15 years old, and they had beards and mustaches and everything. They were smoking cigarettes and drinking alcohol. Right after school. No big deal. And I had sex with them. Because they were men. What the fuck is this shit? You know, when I just laugh at guys who are into this shit, you know, who pursued these twinks. Like if there's some sort of like, I don't know. I mean, yeah, it's the boyish thing. It's the fact that they look like 12-year-old prepubescent little boys. That's the whole thing. Because if it was a real identity, like a real thing, maybe that's why it is an insult to a lot of people. I think I would be insulted if I was called a twink. I think I would be. But thank goodness I don't have the physical attributes to be a twink. I'm too old already, 31. I'm way too old. I'm past my retirement age. But it's kind of sick though, in a way. I don't know. If you're into twinks, well, you're into twinks. But the thing is, like, why would you want to do that? I mean, why, if you're gay, why don't you just go after guys? Why don't you just date guys, like man, like normal man, you know? Oh, what are you saying something? I'm not normal. 5'6", 5'7", weigh 130 pounds. You look like a little 12-year-old boy, and you're now going into your 30s. No, that's not normal. It isn't. That's kind of creepy at it. I mean, you know, yeah, that fucking creepy. That is way creepy. And I don't know. It's this whole youth thing. This whole I want to remain young. When I was 28 and 29, not that long ago, you know, I had a little crash of realities, if you know what I mean. You know, I had this epiphany that I was going to turn 30 and that things were not going to be the same anymore. I felt that way, but in reality, it's just imposed on me, you know? The media, the gay media, the gay papers, magazines, they all venerate like youth as beautiful. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, like, look, there are people like me who were, 19, 20 years old, who thought that the world revolved around them, but they have to be as old as me because we're at the same age bracket. So they're going to have to also have this epiphany as well. Some of them are not taking it lightly. You know, they're like, yeah, I'm freaking 30 years old, I'm dead. But I have a very positive view on life. You know, I went through a huge bout of depression years ago, and I don't want to deal with it again. You know, I don't want to say that, oh no, now I'm turning 30, 31. I'm 31 now. Oh, now, you know, it's death. Now comes death. Now my whole world is over. No, I'm just beginning. Fuck that shit. You know, the youth worship is totally whack. Now I understand what other older people were telling us. Well, why are you worshiping all that youth shit? Be ready for when you get older. And now that I'm older, now I'm like, oh shit, you know, those other older guys were right. Well, you can't just be saying to yourself that you're going to be 25, 21 forever. It's not like that stupid store. 21 forever. Forever 21. Yeah, right. Grow up. And that's what I'd say to people who like twinks. Grow up. Please. But there are a lot of guys who are into it. Especially older guys now. Like, they get older. They're no longer twinkish. You know, they're a little bit fat. You know, they got a little bit taller for some reason. They look older. And so they are they're into twinks because they want to feel young. I mean, they hang out with twinks. They, you know, they have like parties full of them. And you have an old guy being orbited by a couple of these satellites that we call twinks, you know. Just to feel young again. Hey, that's kind of stupid. That's really out there. I mean, I couldn't participate in that because I like myself. And I don't need a young twink who's going to probably suck all of my money. And it's not because I'm a Scrooge. I'm not a Scrooge. I like spending money. But the fact that our relationship can only be that money, fuck that. I want somebody who wants me. I'm sorry, but that's been my experience when I go out. When I go to these clubs. And I see these twinks and they're all looking at me weird. Because they say, oh, that guy likes to spend money at the bar. He has big tabs. So they come rolling around to me and they want me to pay for their fucking drinks. I'm like, fuck you. And on Halloween it happened to me again, but this time it wasn't a twink, it was this regular guy. And that really kind of put me aside. It really shook my head. But anyway. Mr. Andy Cohen went on Twitter to apologize for calling One Direction twinks. Oh God, he called them twinks. Oh no. Is Rush Limbaugh a bear? I think so, right? He's a bear. Yeah, he has to be a bear. What about, let's see. I don't know. Can you have Mexican twinks? I think so. Let me see. Let me punch that in on Google. Mexican twinks. Alright, here we are. I have all these images because I want to see what they look like. Basically, they look like other mainstream twinks, aka white twinks, Caucasian twinks. Yeah, they look the same, except that they're brown. And they look boyish, so it's like... So basically, being a twink, you can only be a twink for like a couple of years. You know, like when you're 16 up to like what? Like when you're 24 maybe at the most. And then by then what? You are a former twink? I mean, what do you call yourself then? What's the label then? Former twink? Untwink? Or how about twonk? You're not a twonk. Oh God! You see, a bear will always be a bear as long as he's still big and furry, and you could always be big and furry, any time of your life. So, unless you get into that Jenny Craig diet or something like that. But just because you get older doesn't mean that you're not a bear anymore. I mean, that's what I like about bears is that at least they're cool with it. They stick with what they know, with what they are. They're not ashamed. But here we have these twinks, now, oh, I'm no longer a twink. I mean, is there like a panel somewhere or a commission of twinks that will grant you the twink license, call you a twink? I certify that this person is now a twink. He can now go on item for item Craigslist, on Grindr, and call himself a twink and promote himself as a twink from now on until the age of, who knows, until he stops looking like he's 12 years old, probably around 24. And then they come to inspect your body and see if you're still a twink. I mean, that would be weird. Anyway. No, it's not an insult. Well, I mean, I don't know. It depends. Like, if you call me a twink, first of all, I would be like, what? How can you call me a twink? I don't even look like one. It would just be like a meaningless insult, But I guess if you call somebody who doesn't want to be but who has the physical attributes of one, but it's not considered a twink, I guess you can insult them. Somebody like, I don't know, somebody who's like 28, 29, and they're now teaching at a college or something, and they're smart, whatever. They have a boyfriend, and they're cool, and they have a normal life, but then some asshole comes along and says, oh, look, here's a twink. I guess I could be insulting in that way. But I don't know. But this twink thing sure is, it's pretty childish, pretty annoying.